Hi, I'm Scott Rickel, Hegg Realtors. Thanks for joining me again. This week I'm going to talk a little bit about choosing the right list price and how that affects the showings of your listing when you're trying to sell your home. I'm going to draw a little graph here, and I've got to set up showing activity, the number of showings, the number of people coming through to view your house, and the number of weeks on the market. And just to kind of preface this a little bit, I think that buyers really like to look at new listings. If you ever search online a little bit, there's always a button on websites that show the newest listings of that day, and you want to go right there and you search through those every day. You feel like you've kind of seen the ones that have already been out for the last couple of weeks. So people tend to zero in on new listings, and that's why it's important to get your list price correct coming right out of the gate. We could really get into the different discussions about leaving room to negotiate and so forth. A lot of different theories people have about pricing real estate, but the truth is that any house, when priced correctly, will attract a buyer and you'll get a fair sale out of it. So it's important to get it right away. Generally speaking, the curve, the activity at the houses over the weeks as it's released, as it's a new listing, it gets a nice burst of activity out of the gate, which eventually comes down to a pretty flat plane. So if you have your house priced correctly, somewhere probably by here, when the activity is near its peak or just starting to decline, somewhere in these first couple of weeks you should probably see an offer on the house if it was priced correctly. Now bear in mind that this is also seasonal down here. Maybe in the spring this curve is out here around, say, 1 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks at the most. Maybe in the winter or fall it's over here into the the 6th, 7th week on market when things are a little bit slower. So good market time like spring, this is going to be a compressed curve, maybe a little bit lower and wider in a middle of a winter or holidays type of time of year, because activity is never really going to get up that high to begin with. So if we're in here with the right price, we should be seeing an offer. Now if we didn't have it priced right, now we're over into here and we're just not getting the activity on the listing that we'd like to have. So what do we do next? We do a little price change. We reduce the price a little bit, try to perk up their interest again. Now again, people are not really looking so much at the older listings that they've already considered. They like to go to that new listing button on their browser. So are they going to see this or are they not going to see it? I don't know. They're going to see a little bit of bump activity probably and then settle back down to that same level again. But we're never going to get up to here again. We're never going to have that initial rush where people have the urgency behind the when they're shopping, want to actually get the house before somebody else does because they think it's a good deal at this price. So now we've given them a price that's lower than we started. We've waited this long to get there, and we're still not back with the activity that we had at the beginning of the whole process. So very important to get your price right at first, and if you must leave a little bit of room for negotiation, just make sure that this number is still an attractive number for people to consider the house here, because we don't want to be over here. We're never going to get this kind of enthusiasm for the listing that we did coming out of the gate. So get the price right, right out of the gate. Thanks.